And we are live, finally, to discuss match week 34 results. We have 10 results to talk about, and I don't plan to be super long tonight because I have a lot of things planned and, more discussions coming and everything. But I just want to talk all 10 results and how it affects the league table and how it affects each and every single team. We got Liverpool beating Everton in the Merseyside derby. City, of course, spanking Watford. Arsenal, oh man, they're on fire. Defeated Manchester United. We have Leeds, Crystal Palace playing to a 0-0 draw. Burnley coming up with a win. So we had a lot of big things to talk about. And I actually scheduled this one for yesterday. But I said, you know what, man? Let me take some rest in the night and let me just allow the Crystal Palace Leeds game to play out so that we could actually include it in today's live stream. So, big up to everybody, man. Thanks for coming back for another one. If you're watching a replay right now, appreciate it. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. So I'm your boy Dom, as you know. If you're new, hit the subscribe button if you like this type of long form content. And we are going to get right into proceedings. So let's do this, man. Let's do this. So Palace and Leeds edge a point closer to safety. So let us actually get into this game first, man. Let's get this game out of the way. It was a 0-0 affair. Not much to talk about in terms of, any goals or anything. But I have to say Crystal Palace were actually the better team on the day. And you could see Ilian Melier was given king of the match, which tells the whole story, man, that he had a lot to do during the game. You could see Rafinha, and I think that's Stuart Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. These guys are probably relieved to just pick up a point, but Palace came close on a few occasions. I could remember a late double save with his feet there by Melier. And they have looked a bit tighter under Jesse Marsch, to be completely honest, and they have a lot of their regulars back from injury. So yeah, Leeds still do need to pick up some more points in order to secure their safety, but this is definitely 1 point closer to achieving that. As for Crystal Palace, man, they've done well this season. They haven't got to that 40-point mark as yet, but this draw is at least stopping the bleeding where they were 2 losses on the bounce and 3 losses in all competitions. For Leeds, they have been freaking good under Jesse Marsch, man. They haven't lost any of their last 5 games, which is remarkable. And I think those are the 5 games that Jesse Marsch came in and picked up points in. That's 11 points in their last 5 games. But the thing for Leeds, they're 16th, 34 points in form along with Burnley. And this spells doom for Everton, who are not in form and on 29 points. So even with a game in hand, both Burnley and Leeds are ahead of Everton. So Everton do have a lot of work to do. But Leeds want to avoid getting dragged into that relegation race. They do have 5 matches left to go. But before we get into those matches, just to hit you with the stats for this game. Crystal Palace with most of the ball, but it's pretty even in terms of possession. 9 shots at target for Leeds, 2 on target. 17 shots for Crystal Palace, 7 on target. So Leeds didn't really trouble Crystal Palace goalkeeper too much, but it was Palace who were more in the ascendancy throughout the game, and I think they were pretty unlucky not to go on to win this. But give it up to Leeds because their defense was absolutely non-existent again when Bielsa was at the club, and they look a lot surer than they were though. If we take a quick look at the lineups, man, you could see Liam Cooper back in the mix, Calvin Phillips back in the mix. Matthias Klick was taken off at halftime. Robin Koch came in and got the job done. It was a little, milly during the game. Dan James involved, but nothing really too crazy. But you also have to, let's give Leeds some credit for shoring things up at the back and winning a few games, drawing a couple. And Captain America, Jesse Marsch to the rescue, baby. But the thing about Leeds is that They have a very tough prospect next, and that's Manchester City, where the first match this season between Leeds and City ended in a 7-0 loss for Leeds. You heard that right. 7-0. So for them to turn that around, it's going to take a huge effort. That's what they have next. Their next couple fixtures are very, very difficult. They got Manchester City, they got Arsenal, they got Chelsea. And if they are to survive, they best have to beat Brighton and Leeds for the fight. Brighton and Brentford for the last 2 matches of the season is going to be difficult. But let's see how it goes, man. Chelsea, they're so-so these days. Arsenal, they could be so-so as well. And I'm hoping not to drop points against this Leeds United team as a City fan, man. But look, I can't call it, man. I can't say Leeds are going to be fine yet. I really can't. I really can't. Big up to the boy Ankit. Big up to AD. Big up to Michael Olopido. Listen, I can't say Leeds are going to be okay right now. But Crystal Palace, 38 points, guys. They should be fine. And I think Patrick Vieira have definitely done a great job his first season in charge. They're 14th, 38 points, as I mentioned. No wins in 3, but a good draw, nevertheless, on the day. They play Southampton next before they take on Watford, Villa, Everton, and they finish off the season against Man United. So they have some very good fixtures remaining, and I'm pretty sure they'll get to 40 points, and they will be back in the league next season with an aim to maybe finish higher than they would this season. Crystal Palace are a team that usually finishes in 13th position. So all the best to Leeds against City in their next game. They're going to definitely need that, man. So with that being said, guys, we're going to keep the ball rolling and we're going to move on to another 0-0 draw. And that's the game between Brentford and Spurs. What is going on at Tottenham, though? What's really going on at Tottenham? Because in their last 2 matches, they failed to register a single shot on target, man. I really don't know what's going on at Spurs. Seriously, no goals to talk about in this one again. But Brentford should have won the game. Ivan Toney hitting the woodwork a couple times. You know, Lloris, of course, had to come up with a few big saves. Look, I don't know, man. I don't know. When it's not Arsenal, it's Tottenham. What is going on with these North London teams, man? Seriously. Seriously. You see what I mean? But give it up to Christian Eriksen, you know, going over to sign that jersey for that fan and everything, coming up against his old team. I'm just hoping for Eriksen's sake that he does not even think about going back to Tottenham. Not one bit. Not one bit. Even if they choose to double his salary from the last time around, just stay away from Tottenham, man. Just stay away from Tottenham. That's my advice. Look, they weren't so good against Aston Villa, but they did manage to score the goals in the second half. And we saw the it was a warning from the Aston Villa game going over to the Brighton game where these dudes did not get a single shot off on target. 5 shots at goal, none on target. And a similar situation against Brentford where they had 9 shots at goal, none on target. Son, Kane, Kulusevski, these guys are firing blanks in the last 2 games, man. I'm telling you. And it could definitely affect Tottenham in terms of their top 4 hopes. It is already affecting them. They probably have to thank Arsenal for losing 3 games on the bounce there, because if Arsenal was actually really, really serious, they're probably serious, but they didn't show that they were serious with those 3 losses on the bounce. If Arsenal meant business, they would have been way ahead of way ahead of Tottenham. If, let's say, they had won 2 and draw 1 of those games, they would have been on 67 points. They would have been above Chelsea, and they would have been way above Tottenham. They wouldn't even have to worry about finishing in the top 4. They would have secured top 4 pretty much, man. So, you know, Tottenham, their destiny, it's in their own hands. It was yet another poor performance on the day. Not penetrative enough. But the real heroes here are Brentford Football Club. Brentford, they're currently 12th. They have hit that magical 40-point mark, which means Brentford, after lengthy hiatus from the Premier League, from the top flight, will play a second successive season amongst the big boys. So let's give it up to Brentford, man. Round of applause. We called it during the season, but then we were a bit skeptical when they went through a very bad run. I think they lost about 6 on the trot. But this team got a lot of determined players, and they have a lot of belief. And I'm glad that they backed their manager and they didn't go and sack him. And you got to give it to Thomas Frank for surviving a sack this season, where about 9 managers, I think about 9 managers got sacked this season. So if you are one of the managers that didn't get sacked, oh man, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. It means you're doing a very, very, very good job. So great job by Brentford, 40 points this season. And now they could relax. That's the beauty about it. The beauty about getting to 40 points is you could relax. You would want to finish off the season strongly, but European football won't be available anymore for them. So nothing really to fight for, but to just finish off the season strongly. They do have 4 games remaining, and those games are against United, Southampton, Everton, and Leeds. I'm not saying they should go light, because the game against Everton and Leeds, these games could be massive games in terms of those teams and their Premier League status. The game against United is going to be massive because they're still fighting for top 4. Maybe the Southampton game, they could relax. You know what I mean? They could afford to relax. But the other games, it ain't going to be the case, man. It really ain't going to be the case. As for Spurs right now, they are 5th. 2 points behind Arsenal. Same amount of games played. They haven't won any of their last 2 matches. And they have some huge games coming up, man. 5 games remaining. They play Leicester City next. Then they have 2 massive games against Liverpool and Arsenal. And I don't know if the game against Burnley is going to be consequential, because Burnley might actually, for Burnley, I should say, because Burnley might actually continue to win, and who knows, they might get to 40 points by then. Is it a possibility? Let me see what Burnley got coming up. For Burnley, they do have Watford. Burnley they won't get to 40 points there. Burnley, if they win their next 3 games, they would actually hit 40 points with a win against Spurs. So that game is going to be a huge one as well. So it's a lot at stake for Spurs. They finish off the season against Norwich. They should beat Burnley and Norwich, right? But that's not true. Burnley did beat Spurs already this season. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. It's crunch time. Personally, for me, I would prefer to see Arsenal in the Champions League next season, simply because, Arsenal have not been in the Champions League for 6 years, and I won't mind seeing a fresher team in the Champions League. You see what I mean? I won't mind that at all. I really, really won't mind. But very good effort by Brentford. And, very poor outing again by Spurs, I have to say. They deserve to lose the damn game. Got to keep it real. But nevertheless, 0-0 on the day. And it was actually, I just clicked on this. It was weird seeing Davinson Sanchez come on the field, man. Haven't seen this guy in ages. Who knows? Tottenham might sell him. Let's see what happens. But let's just click on the stats really quick. Brentford 2 shots on target, 15 shots at goal. Spurs 9, none on target, 56% of the ball. Brentford with 44%. So look, man, quality performance. When a team got 12 corners compared to your 8, they were up there a lot. They tormented you. You know what I'm saying? They give you hell throughout the game. So let's give it up to Brentford, man. Big point. I think the point is like a win for Brentford, but the point for Spurs is like a loss. So with that being said, guys, we are definitely going to keep it moving. But before we do, big up to each and everybody watching the stream right now, man. Ankit, appreciate you coming through. Who says, as a Chelsea fan, I want Spurs in the UCL, as Kane will be stuck there. Also, Arsenal getting into UCL will get them to attract better players. Well, look, man, both of them are not going to get in, Ankit. Only one of these teams will get in, unless your team, Chelsea, just start losing the remaining games this season and both Spurs and Arsenal surpass you. You see what I mean? As a pundit, and pundits are saying if Liverpool were to drop points, it's gonna be against Tottenham. That's surely a big joke, Dom. Look, man, it's not a big joke in my opinion because look, I can't say that because I City lost to Spurs twice this season, and Liverpool didn't beat Spurs in their first match. So that's one of the team that Liverpool dropped points to this season. So you gotta take Spurs seriously, even though they are very inconsistent. You know what I mean? So let's not get too carried away though. But guys, look, man, big up to everybody watching. If you're watching the live watch along, thank you very much. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. We're gonna keep it moving. Let's move on to a game that had goals, and that is Newcastle 3, Norwich City 0. Let's give it up to this team, Newcastle, man. Guys, do you believe Newcastle United are actually in the top 10 right now? This is absolutely unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Newcastle looked doomed for relegation, but they find themselves ninth. It's going to be tough finishing ninth because they still got Man City and Liverpool to play. Out of their 4 remaining games, they got a say in the title race. Are they going to actually say something, or they're going to stay silent? What are we going to see here from Newcastle United? Because we have seen this team win 6 consecutive home matches, and they've been in great form, man. Exemplary form, I'm telling you. Because in terms of Newcastle, only Liverpool have picked up more points in 2022 than Eddie Howe and his boys. And the likes of Bruno Guimaraes is on fire, I'm telling you. Joe Linton transformed from a forward to a midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder. The man has a new lease on life. Alain Saint-Maximin is still bright. Jacob Murphy coming up against his former team with an assist. Inadvertently, I think, but still an assist. That Joe Linton goal in the 35th minute, oh man, exquisite stuff. Exquisite strike. But I gotta say, I think these Newcastle goals came a bit against the run of play because Norwich started this game very, very brightly, man. And I think they were, I think Newcastle were very fortunate not to concede. But when they did get their opportunity, they took their opportunities, man. Joe Linton in the 35th and Joe Linton again in the 41st. Set up by Jacob Murphy's inadvertent shot that fell to him. And then we had Bruno Guimaraes, man. You can't keep this man out of the action there. 49th minute goal. So Bruno Guimaraes is actually enjoying his best goal scoring season since he came to Europe, as far as I could recall. For Lyon, he wasn't this prolific in front of goal, but for Newcastle, what a signing and what a performance he's put on since he came to the club, because he has definitely hit the ground running, man. The man is 24 years old. He's a box-to-box midfielder. And he was brought in for a price tag of 42 million euros. That's not overly expensive. He now plays for the Brazilian national team. And with these performances, he will most likely find a place at the World Cup. In that World Cup team. So that was a great acquisition, man. And the other day was actually mentioning the fact that what's the player name? Lucas Paqueta would actually fit into this specific Newcastle system, in my opinion. And then I saw links with Paqueta being linked to Newcastle. But at the same token, guys, I don't know why, but I forgot Joe Linton was in the team. I don't know why I forgot. So Newcastle could end up with 3 Brazilians in their midfield to rotate along with guys like Shelvey next season, because I think you need these players like Shelvey. So since he's came to the Premier League, 1 assist, 4 goals in 13 appearances, oh man, Talk about hitting the ground running. Bruno Guimaraes certainly fits that tag, along with guys like Luis Diaz, who comes to mind. Kulusevski, but his form has petered away as of late. But it's another very good performance by Newcastle United, man. Eddie Howe, these guys are ninth. They got 43 points. They ain't got to worry about relegation. They could start plotting next season, look at potential signings. They're looking like a very attractive club with some really good players in there as well. They have a lot of work to do because I think Newcastle got a lot of revamping to do in terms of getting rid of some dead wood in the team. You know what I'm saying? So the recruitment probably have started already. So let's see who they bring in, man, because they did bring in some quality players. But look, enough about raving on about Newcastle. They have survived the drop. They will play against Liverpool next, and then they face Manchester City the following week. So they would have a lot to say in the title race, or, as I said earlier, they would have nothing at all to say. Norwich City, I called it from the get-go. This team never looked good enough to survive in this season's Premier League, man. The signings, I think, were poor. They were championship-type signings, in my opinion. Sargent and Lees Melou and guys like Zolis, a relegated Rashica. You know, so all these players who were relegated before coming into the Premier League, a Rashica and a what you call it, man, Josh Sargent, these guys are going to be relegated again. Imagine 2 seasons in your career you relegated back-to-back. It would be even worse if you go down to the championship and then you go into League One. You know what I mean? But that's not the case. Norwich City definitely poor this season. I think Timo Pukki, definitely their standout player. Tim Krul, had flashes. And Rashica comes to mind. Sargent had his moments. You know what I mean? But overall, the team has been very poor, man. They have been poor. They sacked Daniel Farke, brought in Dean Smith. He had a very good November. I could never forget that Norwich November. But since then, they've been awful, man. Awful. Very, very awful. Guys, just to check the stats really quick. Norwich had 5 shots, 2 on target. 45% of the ball. Newcastle, 13 shots, 7 on target. 54% of the ball. They grew as the game progressed. So, for Eddie Howe and his boys, bam, Premier League status preserved. We'll be back next season. As for Norwich City, it is over. 20th in the league, 21 points. They could only get a maximum of 36 points, man. Which means in about 2 weeks, Norwich could be officially relegated. All right? So I think it's over. They stand no chance of getting above like the likes of Burnley or Leeds. It ain't happening, man. It ain't happening for or Everton. Let's not forget Everton. It ain't happening for Norwich. Their next game will be against Aston Villa before they play West Ham, Leicester, Wolves, and Tottenham. So 3-0 win for Newcastle United. As I mentioned, they do face Liverpool next week at home. So let's see if they could continue their great home form. And then they come up against Manchester City. I think that game will be at the Etihad. Big up to Mr. Yarn in the house, man. Nice to see you coming through. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the love and the support. Jordan in the house. Big up to Ankit, Michael, Lolopido, and everybody who are in the stream for a late night one, guys. You got a lot of games to talk about. So your boy Dom ain't going to delay. And we're going to move right on. Let's talk about the game between Burnley and Wolves, man. So, Burnley 1, Wolves 0. Oh! Very tame on the night, though. But in terms of their final third play, Burnley, I think, started the game kind of slow. Wolves might feel a bit unlucky not to get something from this match, because they were the team that looked the bright on the day, man. They kept Nick Pope, who was actually playing his 150th game for Burnley, and I think he now has 50 clean sheets in his Burnley career, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to give it to Pope. Definitely got to give it to Pope, man. I don't think he could absolve your sins or anything, but for Burnley, he is definitely a savior because what they're on right about now is some epic stuff, man. When you have an interim manager by the name Mike Jackson, that's some legendary stuff, and he's doing some legendary things right about now, man. The man's bad. You see what I'm saying? So, Burnley won, Wolves nil, Matej Vydra in the 62nd minute. The build-up to that was exquisite. McNeil, Weghurst with the cross, with the square, and Matej Vydra, you know what I mean? Just allowing the ball to come to him and putting it in. That was brilliant, man. I was doing some research the other day, and I saw that Vydra, before Burnley came up in the Premier League a couple, early in the 2000s, Matej Vydra was ripping up the championship, man. So let's give it up to Vydra, man. He's been around for a while, and he only came into the team because Maxwell Cornet had to pull out with an injury. So Vydra have been around for a while. He's 29 these days. But if you actually go back to his earlier times at Burnley, where I was actually mentioning there, Matej Vydra. You go back to Matej Vydra. He had 12-13 in the championship. He was actually playing for Watford those days. So I think he's, if I'm not, let me just double check it in terms of Vydra. Yeah. He was a Watford player. He was actually an Udinese player. Udinese and Watford, the same owners. So he was playing for Watford, and he actually came over at Burnley back in 2018. He was at Derby County. I don't know the days when he was at Derby, but he's been around the championship. You see what I mean? So he's had some very good times in the championship. So I may have mistaken, which club he played for, but he's only been at Burnley in 2018. So you could see this type of signings that Burnley have been making over the years. These players, that bit part players that were playing in the championship, and they still managed to survive. When you think about guys like Nathan Collins and, Roberts, Connor Roberts, and these guys that recently came in, that's the type of signing that they do make. But he's been around, man. West Brom, Watford, Reading, Derby County, and now Burnley. But he had some very prolific seasons in the championship, though. Matej Vydra, 21 goals, one season, 16 goals, 20 goals. So he had some big seasons. In terms of the Premier League, Matej Vydra, he does not score a lot of goals in the Premier League, you know what I mean? Matej Vydra's best Premier League return was 3 goals, and that was last season. That is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me, man. This is only his 2nd goal this season, and it's a very, very important one. Sorry to go on there about Matej Vydra, but it's just giving you some context on the player that scored the goal in this game. Big goal, man. 3 points here for Burnley. That took them out the relegation zone for the first time since October. This is massive. And it took the sacking of Sean Dyche for this to happen. Let's give it up to Mike Jack, man. Look, Bruno Lage and Wolves, they didn't play in 2 weeks. I did predict them to win the game. Big up to Adam. I think Adam predicted Burnley to win this match, if I'm not mistaken. And Wolves seemingly rusty in front of goal, man, because they had Hwang, Fabio Silva, Raul Jimenez all played, and they just couldn't beat Nick Pope. They had some good opportunities as well. I could remember the Nelson Semedo opportunity. That was a good chance. Did not take their chances, man. So that's just a story of the day for Wolves. And the team that took their chances were Burnley. And, ultimately they ended up winning the game. As I mentioned, I think Wolves, sporadically, they had some very good opportunities in the game. But overall, Burnley ended up with 14 shots, 5 on target. Wolves, 10 shots, 4 on target, but 65% of the ball. So that's how they ended up they look more dominant at times, but really they did nothing with their high possession percentage there. So let's give it up to Burnley. We know they don't play that possession based football, but they could be very, very dangerous on the counter or with that long ball. So let's give it up to them, man. Let's give it up to them. This is not a big win, you know. This win is enormous. This is enormous, man, because you jump out the relegation zone, 2 points ahead of Everton. This is a psychological advantage more than anything. And let's give it up to Mike Jack, man. Let's give it up to him. 3 games now in charge. 7 points. 7 points. This is huge. Burnley could actually survive. Burnley could actually survive. And if you go back to the game where they lost to Norwich, that was a last straw for Sean Dyche. They should have won that game too. So let's say they had won that game. Sean Dyche should have probably never got sacked, but let's just say they won the game and they still sacked Dyche or whatever. They would have been level on points with Leeds United. So let's give it up to Burnley, man. Let's give it up to Burnley. That was indeed a massive victory. And they deserve it for the type of, gritty football that they've been playing, man. Never ever say die attitude. They just keep going at it. And they ended up keeping a clean sheet in the match as well. So I'm pretty sure the goal blew the roof off the Turf Moor Stadium. And it seems as if these guys could end up being back in the league next season. At the cost of Everton, man. It is sad for Everton, but still, man. Still, somebody got to go down. And if it has to be Everton, it has to be Everton. Guys, in terms of relegation, I did run into a nice graphic, nice article, I should say, in terms of the last time teams were actually relegated. Let me see if I could actually find that for you really, really quick. I saved a lot of things to share with you guys, but I want to find this thing with the last time the teams are relegated though. I think that is it's a very good thing I found there. But I probably can't locate it right now. But yeah, I can't locate that right now. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. But Everton have not been relegated for about 60 plus years. Burnley are relegated recently, but they don't want to go back down in the championship, man. The championship is a place of uncertainty. You don't want to go down there at all. You go down there, you never know when you're going to come back. That's the thing about the championship, man. You never ever know when you're coming back. All right, so I actually can't find that thing. I can't find it. It would have been nice to actually share that with you, but I can't find it, man. I don't know where I saw it. But look, big up to everybody in here, man. Tanya Kishner in the house. Obvious Girl, Mike Kopish, Mr. Yon, Jordan Hyman, Ankit. Everybody who stopped by for the live stream, man. We are going to keep it moving. But before we do, in terms of Burnley and their next game, they have a big game against Watford. I don't know if I could call it a 6-pointer because Watford right now got 22 points and Burnley got 31. So they got way more than 6 points. This is not really a 6-pointer, but you get what I'm saying. This is a huge game where Watford with 5 games could still get a maximum of 37 points. I don't think that will be enough to survive. But then again, you never know. You never ever know. You know what I mean? If they win all their remaining games, which is very unlikely, and Burnley and Everton do not do well, then Watford is the team that could survive. But I don't think that's going to happen, though. But that's a huge game in the grand scheme of things. Then they do play Aston Villa twice. Those Aston Villa fixtures sandwich a game with Tottenham, who they beat already, and they finish off the season against Newcastle, who really ain't got nothing to play for. So Aston Villa ain't got nothing to play for. Newcastle ain't got nothing to play for. But Watford and Tottenham, they have everything to play for, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happened in these matches and if Burnley are going to survive the drop. Look, in terms of Wolves, I know we haven't really talked about Wolves a lot lately because they were on a two-week break because their game with City postponed. And, for other reasons as well, just a fixture. The schedule didn't really, feature Wolves, any of the midweek games as well. And the next match will be against Brighton before they play Chelsea, Norwich, and they do have Man City and Liverpool left to play this season. So they play both the teams in the title race. So keep an eye on Wolves, keep an eye on Newcastle. These teams play both Man City and Liverpool. Listen, the title is very important, as we know, and these teams could have a big hand to play in that. So, big up to everybody in the stream, man. Make sure you guys like the video if you're yet to do so. Big up to Karumi in the house, who says more life and prosperity. The same to you. Appreciate it. Everton might just go unbeaten in the championship. Oh, that's a good one. I thought you were going to talk Premier League. Can't believe I thought these guys were title a top 4 contenders for the 2021 season because of how they did the prior season. And of course, how they started. And big up to Karumi again, who says Wolverhampton taper off lately. Indeed, the form has definitely dropped off, man. So, look, guys, look, we're going to keep it moving. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to move into Brighton 2, Southampton 2. Look, very entertaining game, and I think I predicted a draw as well in this South Coast derby, if I'm not mistaken. These teams ain't got nothing to play for, you know what I mean? They both will survive the drop, and all they got to do is just give fringe players opportunities, just try to get a combination going for next season as well. So, in terms of the goals, Danny Welbeck in the 2nd minute, very scrappy goal. And then Salisu with an own goal, another scrappy one. I think Salisu had a stinker of a first half. But, look, before the first half whistle was blown, James Ward-Prowse, man. James Ward-Prowse. What a goal. What a goal. Free kick, man. Free kick. This is his 14th direct free kick goal, and he's only 4 behind David Beckham, who has the most in the league. So let's give it up to James Ward-Prowse, man. The man is a legend. The man is a legend. He got 8 goals this season, and I'm pretty sure the majority of those are from direct free kicks. Let's give it up to him. And in terms of the goals, if they're from, let me see. He scored against Newcastle early on in the season. I know he scored like twice last season or so in terms of direct free kicks, but I can't remember all the direct free kicks, but I know it's been some freaking good ones, man. The one against Newcastle, what was that? That was a penalty. That was a penalty against Newcastle. It's not important, but you guys get the point. You get the point. James Ward-Prowse is the best free kick taker in the Premier League. And probably in world football, man. It would have been nice if, we see him at a bigger club, to be honest. Could imagine James Ward-Prowse at like a Manchester United. Man, don't go there though. But I'm just using them as an example because these are actually players they should have signed over the years. When you really think about it, he's English, he's very good, and he's the best free kick taker in the league. Sign him up. You get a free kick, he could, put it in the back of the net for you, man. So it baffles me that no one actually went in for him. I think Aston Villa tried to sign him last summer, but he stayed put at Southampton, though. So let's give it up to James Ward-Prowse, who did bag a second goal in the game, and I think the second goal was even better than the first. Give it up to Oriol Romeu, the former Chelsea man, with that back heel, and the Spaniard could go down as one of the best assists. That could go down as one of the best assists this season. Okay, that was brilliant. That was indeed exquisite. Back heel, one-time hit by Ward-Prowse. What a goal. And that salvaged the point in the game. You got to feel for Brighton. Another draw. But look, man, look, you had to if you stop Ward-Prowse, that would have actually never happened. On the topic of James Ward-Prowse, guys, do you know James Ward-Prowse is still a one-club man? He's still one of the rare one-club men out there. And you got to give it to him, man. You got to give it to him. Look, he might just go on to be a one-club man for the rest of his career. And I don't mind that at all because that is very, very rare these days. And just someone, James Ward-Prowse, guys, he's still only 27. How is he still 27, though? How is he still 27? Southgate better take this guy to the damn World Cup, you know. I'll be pissed if they don't take him to the World Cup and they take guys like freaking Maguire, you know what I'm saying? And who else they might actually take to the World Cup that actually don't deserve to go to the damn World Cup? Maybe guys like Tyrone Mings, you know? So, as Karumi said, James is a baller, man. So, look, a good point for Southampton. I think a good point for Brighton as well. But Brighton would feel like they should have actually gone on to win this game with the position that they were in. Dropping points from being 2-0 up is never acceptable, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Never, 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 ever acceptable. So, look, I'm not going to stay long on this. For Brighton, they're 11th with 41 points. For Southampton, they're 13th with 40 points. So both teams have hit the 40-point mark. And it's actually a good achievement. Where for Brighton, this is their best points tally ever in the Premier League season. And this is the third time that they're hitting 41. And with 4 games remaining, it means that they could actually officially get their best points tally ever. But it's not guaranteed. They do have Wolves, Man United, Leeds, and West Ham left this season. So they're playing a part in the title race. And they could play a part in the top 4 race if, you know, it's the Man United is still in the race there. So for Southampton, man, it has been a weird season. They've pretty much, it's been even, where they've had 9 wins, 13 draws, and 12 losses. That's not bad if you ask me. They're 13th right now in the league. And after coming off of the 6-0 drubbing against Chelsea, they bounced back with a win against Arsenal, but lost to Burnley, and they salvage a point here against Brighton. So not bad. Very inconsistent team. They come up against Crystal Palace. They face Brentford, and they do play Leicester, and they have a date with Liverpool at St. Mary's Park. And as a City fan, I'm hoping that they could beat Liverpool again like they did last season. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That'd be nice. That'd be doing us a favor. Where Southampton don't like doing Man City any favors anyway, because this season we failed to beat Southampton. So let's give it up to the Saints, man. Guys, big up to everybody watching the stream. You know, I know it took a while for people to gather and come around, but guys, we just getting rid of the fluff. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get to the big thing. We're going to get to the big games. We're going to get to the big games pretty soon. And I know this is what you guys came for. The big games, the Liverpool, Everton, the City, Watford, you know what I'm saying? The Arsenal, United, the Chelsea, West Ham. You know, those are 4 big games we got left. Is there any game that I need to touch on? All right. We still got another 0-0 match to talk about. Let's get rid of this 0-0 game and get into some of the big ones. You know what I mean? We're doing well. I don't plan on being here all night tonight because I've had a very, very long day. I've put in a lot of work. And tomorrow's going to be a massive day as well because there's Champions League football, City, Real Madrid. Oh, man, it's a big day. It's a big day. But look, 0-0 between Leicester and Aston Villa, man. Points shared. And if you ask me if I could remember what happened in this game, I really, really can't, man. I didn't watch it live, but I did watch the highlights. And I can't remember many things that happened in this match, to be completely honest. I know Jamie Vardy came back and, you know, he featured in the game. But, you know, Leon Bailey had an opportunity. And I did talk about, Leon Bailey was actually my player to watch. He had an opportunity. He blasted it over. Ollie Watkins had a few look-ins as well. You know, even contest. You check the stats here. Leicester with 35, with 64% of the ball, but only 5 shots at goal with 2 on target. You see Villa with 35, and they did break away a lot with 11 shots, 3 on target. So not much to really talk about in terms of this game. Aston Villa were on like a 2-week break, you know. Guess we could look at the lineups and see who featured, if there was any, you know what I mean, players that didn't feature for a while. Yeah, Ashley Young coming in for Luca Dean. You know, for Leicester, you have guys like James Justin and Fofana, Castagna, all them guys coming back from injury. You know, you see Douglas Luiz back in the team there. Leon Bailey got a start. Over on the other side, they persisted with the Zambian Patson Daka. You know what I mean? But not much more to really talk about in terms of this game. Harvey Barnes did get an opportunity. Him and Madison, you know, had words because Madison thought it was his chance. You know what I mean? Perez got a rare outing. You got a youngster in Tim. Iro Gumnam getting a run out. I think that might have been his Premier League debut. Marvelous Nakamba is back fit. Not much more to really talk about. This game is inconsequential. A point shared. Villa 1 point, Leicester 1 point. Gerrard will be absolutely happy with this point because they were actually losing a lot of games. I think they were on like 5 losses on the trot. They lost to Spurs, Wolves, Arsenal, West Ham. Yeah, the last win came against Leeds United. So there were actually 4 losses on the bounce, and this draw stopped the bleeding. So it's a great draw. It's indeed a great draw. As for Leicester, though, it's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me. For Leicester, they do have a Conference League game coming up pretty soon, right? And they play Roma. So they would have had this game in mind with the 11 that they put out and everything. They didn't really want to risk too much and, you know, put everything on the table when there's nothing really to play for in the league. So you see what I mean? But you still got a Conference League to play for, which means that if you win the Conference League, you'll be in the Europa League next season. So that is what Leicester got in their eyesights this Thursday against Mourinho's Roma. So all the best to them in this game coming up, but their next game will be against Spurs. Leicester 10th in the league, and for Aston Villa, they are 15, 37 points. So Villa have not gotten to 40 points yet. Leicester 42 points, Villa 37. So could Villa get to 40 points in their next game? Surely they can. They play Norwich. You know what I'm saying? It's like 3 points on a freaking platter. For them, after that, they do play Burnley, and they do have a match against both Liverpool and Manchester City. So Aston Villa, Wolves, Leeds, these 3 teams, keep an eye on these teams, you know what I mean? They play City, they play Liverpool for, you know, games left in this season. So I'm hoping, as a City fan, that when they come up against us, they don't really do anything. And I hope in that's the final match, May 22nd, that we do a trophy lift against Aston Villa, man. You know what I mean? Lovely, lovely. So big up to everybody, man. Not much more to talk about in terms of this match at all. And we are gonna keep it moving. But before we keep it moving, big up to the boy Federico Davis in the house, man. Coming in from, you know, where you now, bro? Are you at work? Or are you in Connecticut right now? Big up to you, man. Big up to my co-worker Davis. Big up to 80 Booth. God damn, I can't talk. Aston Villa fan 80 Booth. DJ Genius, Liverpool all the way. Okay. Big up to the boy Michael Talks Football. Mike, I hit you up, bro. I hit you up. Check your message, bro. Big up to Yusuf, Qatar in the house. How are you guys doing? I'm not getting entangled in the whole Liverpool City thing yet. All right, guys, don't try to draw me out yet. All right, please don't. I'll talk about Liverpool and City pretty soon, and I have some content with my boy Kyle, Trophy Talk, coming up later on. So I'm gonna save all of that for, you know, Trophy Talk. But I will talk Everton, Liverpool in this video, and I will, you know, give you some nuggets in here as well. But in terms of, you know, giving everything away, I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that, though. So Oh yeah, Mike. What you said? Oh yeah. No, I was asking you, Mike, if you wanted to hop on. I was asking if you want to hop on and give your thoughts on the Everton game. You know, if you want to talk about bum ass Manchester United, and you know we have to talk about City as well and Chelsea. So let me know if you want to jump on. You know, if you have any time. I know it's early in your neck of the woods right now because you're over in Colorado. You're dealing with that mountain time. I'm going to hit you with that link. If you want to jump on, let me know. I don't know, you know, if you want to jump on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ankit, if you want to jump on, bro, I'm going to send you the link too. If you want to jump on for, you know, for the ending of the stream, jump on. I send you the link. Let me know if you know, you want to come on. Just come on, bro. You feel free to come through. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to keep it moving. We got Arsenal, Man United to talk about. We got Chelsea, West Ham. We got City, Watford, and Liverpool versus Everton. Let's talk Chelsea, West Ham, United. Or maybe, should we? So, Ankit, if you're going to jump on, bro, you could jump on now, bro. I don't know if you're in the position to jump on, but we're going to be talking Chelsea, West Ham right about now. All right? Let's talk Chelsea versus West Ham because the United thing, I want to save that one. But Chelsea won, West Ham 0. Captain America Christian Pulisic to the rescue. Marcos Alonso with that square into the box. Pulisic with the tap-in basically. And broke West Ham hearts. Chelsea back to winning ways at Stamford Bridge as well is also a positive with all the, you know, drama that's surrounding the club. Players potentially leaving this summer. Rudiger, Christensen, and who knows who else will leave. And they currently dealing with sanctions right now. Can't sell tickets. You know, only season ticket holders, you know, attended the game. But they went out there. They didn't look too good, but they still ended up getting the win at the end of the day. West Ham United, you got to give it to this West Ham team. But West Ham never went into this with intentions of getting anything. If you check the 11 that West Ham put out here, right? Let's take a look at the 11. Aaron Cresswell, Dawson, and Ben Johnson. They played a three-prong center-back defensive setup, right? Because they basically got no fit center-backs. And to make matters worse, Craig Dawson got sent off late in the game, which means next week they'll have no fit center-backs unless Kurt Zouma is fit. You see what I'm saying? Unless he recovers. Issa Diop, whether he recovers. But we know Angelo Agbana is out for the rest of the season. But these guys are going to have to fill in. You're going to have Vladimir Kufal, Ben Johnson, and Cresswell. You're going to have fullbacks playing at center-backs. But if you look at the team, right, that they put out here, if you look at the team that they put out, this is not a team that was put out with any intention of getting anything. It was just, they just try a little something. Once you see Mark Noble starting the game, you know it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Once you see Yarmolenko in the starting 11, you know they ain't really mean to win the game. But even with this subpar 11 that West Ham put out, they almost eked out a draw against Chelsea. And this is not good enough. This is not good enough for by Chelsea at all. But then again, you know, what are you going to do, man? The squad isn't so settled right now. There's off-the-field issues. There's a whole Lukaku situation. And he came off the bench in the 76th minute. Didn't do anything. But he did win a penalty. And didn't take the... You see? At least... let him take the penalty, man. And I'm telling you guys, while watching this game, I was saying to my... I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. But I wanted you guys to draw the game, though. just to talk about it. I was saying, miss. In my opinion, that was not a penalty. That was not a penalty, in my opinion. I know some people may say, yeah, damn, it was a penalty. Dawson got sent off and all, but that was not a penalty, in my opinion. I think Lukaku, he was being held, but he went down. He went down. It's not considered diving because he was being held, but I think he went down a bit too easily, where he should have ran through and score. Big ass player like you getting pulled down that easily? Nah, man, I doubt it. But when Jorginho stepped up and he put that penalty wide, that was funny. That was indeed funny, man. Big up to the boy Kyle in the house, man. Thanks for coming through. All those pundits predicted Chelsea to win the league back at the beginning of the season. I want my damn apology. Clowns, indeed. Indeed, man. But they did look good, though. They did look good. It is trophy talk, and you know who's not in the trophy talk? Chelsea. West Ham could be in the trophy talk. They're still in the Europa League, man. So let's wish them all the best because they prepared for the Europa League going into this game, and that's all they had on their minds, Europa League. But Chelsea, they were not good enough in this game at all. Not good enough. And I think they're very, very lucky to walk away with 3 points here. Very, very lucky. Look, Rudiger has been injured. You have Christensen pulling out as well. So you have Chalobah, Aspilicueta, and Thiago Silva starting. Jorginho Kante in the middle. Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing as a right wing back, you know. Reece James been out with dealing with some injury issues as well. And the front three never really kicked on during the game, man. You check the stats here. Chelsea with most of the possession. 26 shots at goal. 5 on target. That's poor, man. That's poor. It should have been easier than that. It should have been easy. Not good enough. Not incisive enough. And that penalty miss, that's disgraceful. Jorginho is the reason why Italy did not qualify for the World Cup. And I don't mean to pick on him or anything. Jorginho is the reason why Italy is not at the World Cup. And I think he admitted that as well. So give it up to David Moyes and West Ham. I think Moyes have done a great job this season. But in terms of the Champions League, they could kiss that goodbye. But they're still in a Conference League spot. They are in competition with Wolves and Manchester United for that Conference League spot. West Ham could still qualify for the Europa League via the league. And I hope they do above Manchester United. I really, really hope they do. So, look, man, I don't want to linger too much when it comes to this game. Not much more to really talk about. But it's actually nice to see the American Christian Pulisic actually stepping up off the bench and scoring. He would feel like he deserved more opportunities from the start, but this is how you have to prove yourself. You see what I mean? Step up when you get the opportunities, score the goals, and without a doubt, Tuchel got to put you in the team, man. But it's hard. You see guys like Hakim Ziyech not starting every game these days. And I think this has been the Achilles heel for Thomas Tuchel this season. He never got his starting 11 correct. You have Lukaku, you brought him in for almost 100 mil. He's not playing. Hakim Ziyech came in a few seasons ago, and he was in the team. Now he's out of the team. Your Pulisic came in for big money as well. You have Ross Barkley. He doesn't even see the pitch. Saul brought in on loan. He doesn't even see the pitch. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Chelsea, you need to sort your business out. And you had a disappointing season, to say the least. Champions League winners last season. Didn't defend their title very well. Made it to the Carabao Cup final, lost it. Not in the Premier League title race, way behind. And in terms of the FA Cup, I think they're going to lose that one to Liverpool as well. So prove me wrong, Chelsea. Step your blood cleat game up. So, look, West Ham, commendable performances this season. They beat Liverpool, they beat City, they beat Chelsea, they beat Man United, all within the different competitions. So you got to give it to them, man. You really, really got to give it to them. They deserve a lot of credit. This has been David Moyes' probably his best season in his career, if you ask me. Doing well in the Europa League, doing well in the league, and let's see, he gonna live to fight another season. But look, we know the job is very fragile. If he doesn't do well next season, they won't hesitate to sack him. So, you know, David Moyes, you got to be happy for him, man. You really, really got to be happy for him. So, big up to everybody watching the stream right about now, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Coming to you with some late night energy. We just hit 1 hour on the live stream. And we're not going to linger anymore. We're going to move into another big one. We got 3 more games to talk about. Let's talk Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. And I absolutely cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. This is simply unbelievable. This is unbelievable stuff, man. This is really unbelievable stuff, man. You know what I mean? This was the early kickoff. And to be completely honest, you know, it was early. It was early, you know what I mean? I was watching this game and, you know, got to wake up early for work while watching this game, to be completely honest, you know what I'm saying? There were times when, yeah, my eyes were closing for a little 2 minutes here and there, you know what I'm saying? I got to keep it real. And look, commendable performance by Arsenal across the last 2 games, man. Because for Arsenal, I don't understand, right? I really don't get it. I really don't get how Arsenal, I actually forgot to let you guys know who Chelsea are playing next. So for Chelsea, they play Manchester United. That's coming up on Thursday. I like to do that. And then they play Everton. I kind of jumped the gun there. So Chelsea play United and Everton. I have to do like a separate prediction preview for Chelsea United. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And then they have Wolves. But Chelsea will pretty much qualify for the Champions League once they keep picking up points. And they have the FA Cup coming up as well. So, yeah, man, that's what's up for Chelsea. And, guys, you know, just for West Ham, let me double back a little there. For West Ham, they do have Frankfurt in the semi-final of the Europa League. Then they do play Arsenal next. Then they have a game against Norwich. And they have to play Manchester City before the season ends. So let's get back to Arsenal, right? And what I was actually saying about Arsenal. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. And this is an unbelievable result in the grand scheme of things. And seeing that, you know, it's just Arsenal, man, you know. I wasn't expecting this. And when I say Arsenal, I don't mean the Arsenal of the late 90s, early 2000s Arsenal. I'm not talking historic Arsenal. I'm not talking historic United. I'm just talking Arsenal now, United now, and Arsenal with the inconsistency, United with the inconsistency. But if there's any team that I thought would have actually won this game, it would have been United. Seriously. But Arsenal did it, man. They did it. They did it. And when you think about how bad they were against Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Southampton, teams that they should have actually beaten, I never expected them to win against Chelsea and United. So it's confusing. Arsenal are confusing the hell out of me. And they're back at 4th with 60 points with 2 huge wins against teams that are competing for those spots, especially Man United. You see what I mean? And they give themselves an edge against Tottenham now, where when they come up against Spurs, all they need to do is just draw. You don't even have to beat them. Just draw with Spurs and pick up points in your other games, man. And I think Arsenal will be fine because Spurs won't be fine. Spurs are being Spursy right now. But guys, in terms of the goals, Nuno Tavares with the 3rd minute goal there. Fortunate goal, tapping. 3rd minute. I think that is his first goal for the club. And then Bukayo Saka with the penalty there. Brilliantly dispatched. Back-to-back games he scored penalties in. And you got to give it up to the young man, man. The man has hit 10 plus goals this season. That's a record for a young under 21 player, I think. And then Ronaldo pulled one back. Very good ball by Matic, who I think played well against Liverpool. I kept mentioning that. So Matic, who will move on at the end of the season. I think he's been linked with a move to Mourinho's Roma. Mourinho loves Matic, Chelsea, United, and now Roma again. So, good ball in, nice lofted ball in, and hit on the half volley by Cristiano Ronaldo. United were back in the game, but second half, man, I'm telling you, listen, man, that shot by Xhaka, brilliant. I know the Saka goal, it had to be reviewed by VAR because, Nketiah ended up scoring, but he was offside. But then when you went back and you double back, Saka was actually brought down. And I think Nketiah had scored another goal. But Nketiah has been good lately, too, in the last 2 wins there for Arsenal. But that goal by Granit Xhaka, what a screamer, man. El Neni with the assist. And I did mention previously that I think El Neni deserved the start ahead of Lukanga. And look at that, man. The man ended up getting the start, and he's been influential in the last 2 outings. Let me make sure he played the game against Chelsea. I don't want to say that and he didn't play the game against Chelsea, you know what I'm saying? So, definitely he did play against Chelsea. So, give it up to the Egyptian, for those solid performances against both Chelsea and Manchester United, though. So, look, United. Let's not forget, though. Let us not forget the penalty that United actually got in the game, right? Let us not forget that. Let me just double back really quick. Let me pull this up really quick so I could actually get this correct here. Let me see. Yeah. So let's not forget the penalty. You know what I mean? Let's not act like they didn't get a penalty in the 57th minute and they had an opportunity to bring the game level. You see what I'm saying? I just had to get my facts right. I wanted to just get the time and everything right. But Bruno Fernandes with the penalty after Nuno Tavares handball. Very sloppy stuff by Nuno Tavares. Scored a goal and then almost, give away the game. Bruno Fernandes stepped up. And I think anytime you see a player stepping up ahead of Ronaldo, I don't like that. Seriously, I think personally, I don't care who's the designated penalty taker. I don't care. Once Messi is on the field or Ronaldo is on the field, they're taking the penalties. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? They're taking the penalties. These guys are big game players. And for Bruno Fernandes to step up ahead of Ronaldo for the second time this season, I think, and miss the penalty, it's shameful, and it just shows the state of this club. No way Cristiano Ronaldo should have been denied that penalty. No way. No way. And it cost them the game. Potentially cost them, a point. They could have probably picked up a point here. Or more. You never know. Could have come back. It's Arsenal you're playing. That was a horrible penalty, man. That was a horrible penalty. So, that was horrible, man. Look, I don't know which one was worse. If it was the Jorginho or the Bruno Fernandes penalty. But still, man, I know the Jorginho penalty wasn't costly, but this one definitely costly. This was 2 teams in the top 4 race, and you're going to miss a penalty in a crunch game like this. Another poor performance by Manchester United. This has to be very embarrassing. Losing. You're not supposed to be losing these games, man. I don't listen. It's embarrassing. You lose to Liverpool 4-0. And then you go on to lose to Arsenal 3-1. That's 7-1 across 2 games, man, against teams that you should be competing against. Come on, man. Come on. And all of this came, and they announced Ten Hag as the new manager next season, which is just, it just shows, man. It just shows that, it's like they're saying, all right, we had some shit managers this season, Solskjaer and no Ragnick. sorry, Ragnick, but you didn't do a good job. And you have not done a great job. You did a better job than Solskjaer, but it's not a great job. And yeah, let's just announce Ten Hag, because guess what? That's what they're trying to tell their fans. Things are going to be better next season. Forget about this. Things are going to be better. It's not guaranteed. It ain't guaranteed that things are going to be better at all. It ain't. You see what I'm saying? It ain't. It ain't. So, quality stuff by the Gunners. 3-1 win. Big 3 points. They go up to 60 points. I know I could go into some more things, but I'm not going to get into the whole nitty-gritty and all the details of the matches and everything, because I won't remember everything. I can't try to remember everything, but United could have easily got something from the game. I think Diego Dallo had hit the post, so I think he hit the post twice. Ramsdale with a push onto the post, and he hit the crossbar. So United could have easily got something from this match, but just wasn't their day, man. Just wasn't their day, So yeah, give it up to the Gunners, man. Granit Xhaka with a screamer, lovely. The young guns, man. The young guns. Chris and Neef. Look, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, Nketiah. This is how you rebuild a team. Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Tavares. This is how you rebuild a team, man. Top 4. This is how you rebuild a team. Not what United are doing. Harry Maguire, club captain, benched against a team like us. Come on. This is not sending the right messages. This ain't sending the right message at all, man. It's not. It ain't. It's confusing. Very, very confusing, man. Very confusing. You got to give it up to Takehiro Tomiyasu. Came back from injury. Martinelli came off the bench. And let's see, if Arsenal eventually goes on to secure that top 4 spot, though. It is going to be tough because their next game is against West Ham at the London Stadium. That's a derby. They do have Leeds, who are, still fighting for survival. And the big one, North London derby against Spurs, where this is the one that could actually determine whether they get top 4 or not. Newcastle and Everton to finish off the Premier League season. As for the bums, Manchester United, big up to any United fan watching this right about now. They play Chelsea next. That's coming up Thursday. And I will try to do somewhat of a preview with that, for that game, maybe by myself. And just like I do the previews, I'll just do one preview, maybe 10 minutes, if I remember. And United do play Brentford, Brighton, Crystal Palace in their remaining games. So let's see. I think they're not going to get top 4. For a club that's transitioning to a new manager, I think going into a season like that with a Champions League football, it would help them attract players. But that's not how they attract players, though. They attract players by offering them a ridiculous amount of money in wages. You see what I'm saying? But they will be doing a rebuild, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes and who goes over at Manchester United. So, big up to everybody who dropped comments, man. Mr. Yarn, Arsenal, a confusing team always. Honestly, aside from Tottenham and West Ham, Arsenal have a pretty kind schedule for the rest of their matches, I think. Prospects of a Champions League berth are looking pretty solid right now. Some at the Longhouse, Arsenal is future stars team, indeed, man. Big up to the boy Ankit. Yeah, no problem, Ankit, bro, no problem. I just sent it to you just in case. And Mike, no problem as well if you can't jump on. I just, if you guys wanted to jump on. Big up to Qatar in the house, man. Nice to see you come through. Yusuf, everybody in here right about now. But guys, look, we are going to keep it moving, man. I spent almost the entire evening down here putting in work on the channel. So make sure you guys continue to show your support and continue to, just keep the thing going. Let's keep the ball rolling here. So, look, the next game that we're going to talk about, let's make sure that we touched on everything before we move on. We talked Crystal Palace Leeds already. That's the first game that we talked about. We will talk Liverpool Everton next. After City Watford. We talk Chelsea West Ham, Burnley Wolves, We talked Brighton, Southampton, Brentford, Tottenham, Norwich, Newcastle. We talked Leicester, Aston Villa. We just spoke about Arsenal, Man United. So let's talk Manchester City versus Watford FC. Look, it won't be long. Won't be super long. No need to be super long. This is a team we destroy every single, and I mean every single season. Let me show you something. Let me show you this graphic that I saw on Twitter, right? This is on the City page, right? Look at this. Just look at this. 5-1, right? 5-1. This season, we also beat them 3-1. The previous time we played them, we beat them 4-0, right? I think that might have been in a cup game. 4-0 July. No, that's actually, we played in that kit at the back end of that season because it was last season's kit, but we played it in the 2019-20. We played with it in the 2019-20 season, okay? So, look at that, man. Look at that. 8-2 in the last 3 games. Let's go back further. 8-0. 8-0. September 21st, 2019. 8-0. The FA Cup final. 6-0. Previously, 3-1. You gotta love these pictures, man. 2019, Bernardo, Sterling, Gundogan. You know, Zinchenko's always been in the mix. Walker, Mahrez. Give it up to Aguero, Company, Otamendi. You know what I'm saying? You go, look, we go even further. 2-1. That's probably the closest Watford City game ever, man. 3-1 there. January 2nd, 2018. And look, my first season on YouTube, man. 6-0 City over Watford. I think this might have been after we destroyed Liverpool. I think that came after the Liverpool 5-0 drubbing. Oh, man. Listen, man. This team, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a team. Anyways. It goes back even further. 5-0, 2017, May. God damn. 2-0, 2-1. And that's about it, man. 2016, you know, Jesus Navas and Aguero there, Zabaleta. You know what I mean? Yaya Toure up at the top there. Just the club legends, man. You see Gael Clichy, the back of his head right there. So, yeah, man. So, look, don't want to rub it in any Watford fan anymore, but it's pretty easy, man. Every time we meet Watford, it's just a party. Watford and Burnley, these are the teams that we love to play the most, man. Watford and Burnley. So, look, Gabriel Jesus linked with a move to Arsenal before the game, right? Big story. And I think Gabriel Jesus might actually move on and go to Arsenal. I think that could be a good move for him. He's still young. He could link up with those youngsters over there, and he could play on a more consistent basis. I won't be surprised if he stay at City either. He's still got 1 year left on his contract. They could keep him and look to actually, you know, get him to pen a new deal. Let's see what happens. But look, if Gabriel Jesus gotta go, he gotta go. You know what I mean? We'll have players coming in. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but that's just how the game is. You don't want to keep a player bogged down. You don't want to see a player get to his full potential. You know what I mean? And I think he could get to the whole nother level over at Arsenal. The man responded with that, you know, with the whole rumor by bagging a 4-goal haul, man. He could have gotten 5, but he picked up 4 goals, man, to go with a screamer, a banger of a goal by Rodri. Watford did pull one back in the 28th-minute. Hassani Kamara, Emmanuel Dennis, who did look bright during the match with the assist. Good goal, but I think Edison should have saved that. Jesus, 4th minute. Zinchenko with the assist. Brilliant square, one-touch thing by Gabriel Jesus. Kevin De Bruyne, what a cross into the box. What a header by Gabriel Jesus. And we had a 49th-minute penalty. Jesus brought down. Jesus won the penalty. He stepped up. He scored his hat trick. You know what I'm saying? think there was some communication issues between the referees there for that one as well. So good hat trick there by Jesus, man. And he scored again in the 53rd minute, set up by Kevin De Bruyne, and brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff, man. De Bruyne with 2 assists, Jesus with 1 for the Rodri goal, and Zinchenko, who has definitely been playing well in the last couple games for Manchester City there, you know what I mean? Big up to the Ukrainian. 5-1 for City on the day, and we didn't underestimate Watford at all. If you check the lineup that we put out, very strong lineup indeed. You check the lineup here, Edison, Ruben Diaz, Zinchenko, Laporte, and Joao Cancelo, with Sterling, Jesus, Rodri, De Bruyne, and Fernandinho. We did play 2 defensive midfielders in the game, simply because, you know, just wanted to tweak the system. Got a big game coming up against Real Madrid. Rotate a little. You had Jack Grealish, who is listed as a standalone forward. I think Jack Grealish could have done a lot better in this game. He played the entire 90, but didn't do a goddamn thing if you ask me. This was a game where Jack Grealish could have taken this match to maybe get a hat trick. Because let's say it was Grealish who scored 4 times and not Jesus. You see what I mean? But it was Jesus. Grealish ain't do shit in the game, man. And that's why, you know, he keeps getting criticized by opposition players, because he hasn't really done anything. But I must say, let's give him another season. Let's see what he does next season. And if he doesn't do well, then maybe y'all could definitely continue to call him a flop. Because you're not going to get 3 seasons to come good. Okay, next season or never, Jack Grealish. But I'm going to give a pass this year, though. I'm going to give a pass. And not just because he's my player, I'm going to just give him a pass. Gundogan and Ake came off the bench along with Riyad Mahrez. So, you know, nice to see Ake fit, because he was an injury doubt there. So we have him for the Champions League game, hopefully, man. But look, nice to see Cole Palmer on the bench again. Foden, Silva, Bernardo Silva getting a rest up. You know what I mean? John Stones and Kyle Walker not taking part in this game. Look, in terms of Watford and Roy Hodgson's Watford, this team, man, they had a few runs going forward, but overall, not good enough. Simply not good enough, man. You see what I mean? And Ngakia, he had a horrible day. Ben Foster in goal must be saying, God damn, let's just hurry up and finish my Premier League career. This could be the last Premier League season for Ben Foster as well, where he's up there in age and Watford's going to get relegated for sure. They're going to go back in the Championship, and who knows, he might actually retire. So, look, yet another quality performance by City to pick up 3 points in the title race. Let's not forget, this is a title race, and it's important that you don't slip up against these weaklings like Watford and a Norwich. You see what I'm saying? And an Everton, you know what I mean? A Leeds who's coming up next. You don't slip up against these teams, though. So, another imperious performance, man. You check the stats. City with 74% of the ball. 21 shots, 8 on target, compared to Watford's 26% of the ball, 5 shots, 4 on target. Brilliant stuff by City, man. Absolutely brilliant stuff, if you ask me. I watched this game, was never ever worried about Watford. One player I have to point out for Watford is Ismail Assar, man. He's had a poor season. I know he's been injured, but still, he's had a poor season. And when players like Sarr didn't really step up, and like guys like Josh King to a lesser extent, listen, man, you're definitely going to find yourself in this position. And I'm pretty sure by now Watford are going down. So I'm not going to rave on too much longer. I have some stuff coming out with my boy Kyle. I have something out on the Champions League, so you guys could check that out. I have more on this game as well, so you guys could check those clips out as well. And the main trophy talk video between Kyle and I'm gonna drop that maybe right after I'm done with this one. Let's get that out and get the content out there to you guys. But in terms of City and their next game, guys, it's a massive one. Man City on top of the league with 80 points with 5 games remaining, which means that City could get a maximum of 95 points this season, and Liverpool could get a maximum of 94. If both teams go on to get maximum points, it would be the second time within the last 4 seasons that they finish with 1 point separating them. You go back to the 2018-19 season, Man City won the league on 98 points, Liverpool with 97. 2 best teams in the league, if you ask me, man. 2 best teams in the league, 2 best teams in Europe, if you ask me. These teams are too down. How are you going to get 97 points and not win the league? How are you going to get 94 points and not win the league, man? It is unfair, but when you have Manchester City playing like they are playing, and you have one of the best managers, if not the best manager in the world in Pep Guardiola, doing his thing, with Man City spending like the pockets have unlimited space. Look, man, you're gonna find that, man. Like look, with the Erling Haaland link to City, you know what I said? It ain't my money. Spend the damn money. You see what I'm saying? It ain't mine. Spend it. But you know, some people look at their club and try to freaking. It's like you're trying to manage your club's money. That ain't none of your business. That ain't none of your business whether the net spend is negative 500 million. How is that your business? How is it your business? You know what your business is? Watching the games, supporting your club. That's what your business is. My business is not to watch what Man City do with their damn money, because they ain't giving me none of that money. Spend it. Buy up all the best talents, man. Send them out on loan if you have to, as long as you keep winning. But then again, let's give Liverpool some credit as well. If it wasn't for Liverpool, let me say this right now. If it wasn't for Liverpool, the Premier League will officially be like the Bundesliga, a farmers league, where Bayern Munich have won the last 10. We like to call the league a farmers league with PSG dominating, but it's more the Bundesliga. 10 titles in a row is disgraceful, man. It is disgraceful. But the Premier League could have been like that too if it wasn't for Liverpool, because Manchester City would have gone on to win all 5 of the last 5 seasons, including this one. Round of applause to the Reds. Round of applause, man. You're stopping the league from being officially sponsored by John Deere. And we're going to actually keep it moving. Look, for City, Real Madrid coming up next. Later on, it's today for some of y'all. Tomorrow, Real Madrid, dead. Let me stop. I wanna win. But, you know, I hope we go out there and win that game. Leeds United next. We go handle business. We beat them 7-0. Last time around, we should handle business. But I'm not into the coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of business, okay? We are going to beat Leeds. We're going to beat Leeds. Second leg against Real Madrid coming up next week as well. And then we face Newcastle, West Ham, and finish off the season against Aston Villa. Who's going to win the title? Is it going to be Liverpool or is it going to be Manchester City? For 19th place, Watford, glued towards the bottom of the table. Their next game would be a big game, a 6-pointer against Burnley. And then they face Palace. Another 6-pointer against Everton, Leicester, and Chelsea to finish off the season. I'm pretty sure Watford are going down, man. Pretty sure about it. Look, big up to everybody in the stream right about now, man. You guys are the real deal. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate it, man. But just do me a favor, man, guys. Like the video if you're yet to do so. You know, you guys be tuning in and not liking the video, and I don't appreciate that at all. We do have 51 likes, but I think you guys could do a lot better, okay? Because I'm spending precious time away from my wife and kids to hang out with y'all. So like up the video. Like it up, man. And with that being said, we are going to land the plane. And let's talk about the Merseyside derby between red hot Liverpool and Everton. Let's talk. Let us talk, man. Let us talk. Let us talk about this one, man. 2-0 Liverpool. with Andrew Robertson 62nd minute and Divock Origi in the 85th minute with the goals on the day, which was a frustrating first 60 minutes for Liverpool, who were dominant. They were really, really dominant throughout the game, but just couldn't break down a very resilient Everton defense set up by Premier League legend himself, former Chelsea, West Ham, and Manchester City player Frankie Lampard. Look, let's take a look at the 11s. Let's not jump the gun here, okay? Let's take a look at the 11s put out by both teams. Let's start with Liverpool. Alisson, Van Dijk, Robertson, Matip, Alexander-Arnold. Very strong back line. Fabinho, Thiago, and Naby Keita favored in the midfield ahead of Jordan Henderson. Still a very robust midfield. Front line, oh man, brilliant. Mane, Salah, and Jota. They weren't so influential on the day. Salah did pick up an assist, but Mane and Jota, they really couldn't break down this Everton backline. And you got to give Everton some credit there for being resilient and actually giving Liverpool a game and not getting pushed over like Manchester United did. You see what I'm saying? Because Everton actually just beat Manchester United. You see? I don't want to use that type of logic, but look, Everton beat United, Liverpool beat United as well. So it means that Everton, even in the relegation zone, are better than United. No, they're not, but, they'd still manage to pick up a win against United. Jordan Henderson off the bench, Luis Diaz and Divock Origi, super subs. If there was ever a super sub, that was actually the definition of a super sub right there. For Lampard, his 11, and I'll get to the subs. Jordan Pickford, man. I got to say, I'm going to feel really bad for Pickford if Everton eventually gets relegated. This is shameful stuff, man. This is shameful stuff by Everton Football Club. Shameful on top of shameful, right? Because there's something floating around of the money that Everton spent compared to the money that Liverpool spent. And it is absolutely ridiculous. And let me share this with you. Let me just I want to share this. I want to share something with you, man. Let me actually save this image and just get. I really want to share this with you. I want to be very generous right now and share something nice with you, okay? So let us just get this thing shared, and I want you to see what Everton have definitely spent over the last few seasons. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Since summer 2016, Everton Football Club have spent £639 million, and they have made $322 million, which gives them a net spend of what, 317, right? So basically, that's negative 317 to be exact, if I'm calculating that correctly, because you spent more than you actually made, right? So Liverpool, £569 million, still a lot of money, but you get bang for your buck. Well, for Everton, they haven't, right? Liverpool, 439 million received, 157 million net spend, and a total of 40 plus million signings, 7 for Liverpool, 20 plus million, 12, right? 40 plus million sales, 1, 20 plus million sales, 5, major trophies, 5, top 4 finishes, 5 out of 5. While for Everton, it's 0 out of 5, no trophies, and let's not care about the sales or whatever, but 20 million plus signings, 20 of those, 20. 3, 40 plus million signings. What if Everton had done their recruitment a lot better? Maybe, give the players some sweeter deals and made some more 40 million plus signings and lower the 20 million plus signings because they made a lot of dumb signings over the years, right? You think Alex Iwobi, that comes to mind, too much money paid for him. You know what I mean? And some of the business they've done this season. Why you bring in Anwar El Ghazi and you're not playing him? You brought in Dele Alli, he hardly plays, right? You brought in Van der Beek, he's injured, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. What are they smoking over there at Everton Football Club? Seriously, what are they smoking? They put something, what are they putting in their spliffs, man? Seriously. But anyways, man, forget about the smoking analogies. Let us talk. We talk about the 11s. I think Dele Alli came off the bench and he looked really good. I think guys like Mikalenko had solid games. Anthony Gordon. Let's give it up to Anthony Gordon. I was actually talking about Jordan Pickford getting relegated. Oh, man, that's a sad sight. Michael Keane came in for Godfrey, who got injured in the warm-up. Keane looked out of sorts. But I have to say, Vitaly Mikalenko was one of the best players on the day. And you got to give it to Anthony Gordon. Richarlison was a crybaby, staying down for little stuff. Demarai Gray had a few opportunities. He looked bright. Alex Iwobi was okay. Doucouré was okay, but he was basically roughing up the Liverpool players on the day. You know, he's like an enforcer along with Allen. And Captain Seamus Coleman there, you know, did his best. Dele Alli came off the bench. I think he looked really good. But Solomon Rondon, you know what I mean, they were just trying something. They were just really, really trying something, man. You know, when you have El Ghazi, man, throw him out there, man. Throw him out. Say, go out there, try to do something for me. But you're not going to have 3 available subs that only put out 2, you know what I mean? So, in terms of the game itself, look, you know I'm a City fan. I want Liverpool to draw the game, and being 60 minutes into the game, I'm like, yeah, boy. You know, like Flavor Flav, yeah, boy. I'm feeling like we're going to see a draw today. Everton are going to pull a draw out of the freaking hat. But Klopp, forget about the first 60 minutes, man. Forget about Anthony Gordon getting in behind and simulation, possible penalty shout. I think, you know, it could have been given a penalty if the refereeing, I have to say, was very poor on the day. Very poor. Stuart Atwell, poor refereeing on the day. Very poor. Some decisions could have gone Everton's way. Some decisions could have gone Liverpool's way. But the decisions altogether wasn't good. The penalty shout, I think, was a poor decision. I think Everton, to be honest, I think they deserve a penalty. Some may say Gordon stepped on Matip's foot. Some may say Matip kicked Gordon on his heel. You know what I mean? It's about perspective. But at least use VAR right. Go look at the screen, make a decision. You see what I mean? And I heard there's a conspiracy that the Premier League wants a title race until the last day. So they're doing everything to help Liverpool and might do everything to help Manchester City too. Okay? I know Liverpool fans were about to come at me with that one. But look, the Premier League wants to make money and they want a title race until the end of the season, right? I think Everton were unlucky not to get a penalty or even score a goal because they got in behind on a few occasions. Give it up to Anthony Gordon. You know, Demarai Gray got a shot off after they had conceded and everything. But the main talking point of this match, the main thing about this game, forget about all the little fights and blah, blah, whatever, Richarlison and Doucouré and Mane and Matip and all these guys getting into little things. The 60th minute, man, Jurgen Klopp changed the game. Give it up to Klopp. He did what Lampard couldn't do. Because let's say Lampard had said to himself or his assistant, look, we're an hour into the game. We're doing well. What if we go for the kill? You see what I'm saying? Let's just do something uncharacteristic because of our circumstances right now and go for the kill. Let's go for the kill. Bring on Rondon. You know, freshen things up. Bring on Dele Alli. Bring on a guy like El Ghazi. Freshen things up, man. Just change things up. No, he didn't do nothing. Klopp said, hey, man, this ain't working. Salah, Mane, Jota, y'all ain't breaking down this team, man. Y'all ain't breaking down this team. What did he do? He bring on Divock Origi, who's renowned for scoring against Everton, and he took off Naby Keita. And then he brought on Luis Diaz and took off Sadio Mane, right? So he brought 2 forwards on and took off 1, which meant that he added another forward to the attacking line. You see what I'm saying? Klopp knew he needed to win this game. It's a no-brainer. You got to win the game. Man City, in mind, you got to win the game. Immediate effect. Bam, immediate effect, man. Give it up to Joel Matip for his runs going forward and his, passing and the build-up and everything. 'Cause I think he was really the one that started the play, getting the ball over to the right-hand side, Salah linking up with Divock Origi, and immediate impact, man. Andy Robertson with the goal. Brilliant goal. I think Robertson was brilliant throughout the game as well, both defensively and offensively. And I think he deserved the goal. He doesn't score a lot, but popped up, got the goal. He will be hoping to do that for Scotland in the quest to get him to the World Cup as well. And then, to rub salt in Everton's wounds, Divock Origi with the goal. Divock Origi, Divock Origi. I think that was a corner, and Luis Diaz tried an overhead, spectacular overhead, and inadvertently set up Divock Origi at the far post. Well, through the center, maybe closer to the far post. That was a good header to beat Pickford, man. So, Liverpool with the 2-0 win. As a City fan, trust me, man, it's painful watching Liverpool win all the time. I'm just being real. It's very painful, especially when they're in a title race with you. Look, if they're in a title race, I don't care, man. You could win as many as you want. You know what I'm saying? As long as we got some distance. But we have ourselves to blame. We were 14 points ahead of Liverpool. Even if they had 2 games in hand, it's still 8 points ahead. And we allowed it to get this close. But I'm loving every moment of it where we still have something to talk about. You see what I mean? And in a game where Liverpool could have easily slipped up, they didn't. They didn't. And they have been in imperious form, man. They have definitely been in imperious form. And you got to give it up to the Reds. You definitely got to give it up to the Reds and Jurgen Klopp and what they've done. So, look, just to do something fun really quick, let us go over quick to Liverpool's Twitter. There's a lot of things that you miss if you don't go on the Twitter pages for these clubs. Liverpool do have Villarreal next in the Champions League. But if you see here, Divock Origi, the derby specialist, right? He loves playing against Everton. But sadly, for Liverpool fans, Divock Origi will be leaving the club at the end of the season. And you see there's a comment there says that please don't let him leave. You know what I'm saying? But he will definitely be leaving, potentially going on to AC Milan. We scroll down some more here. You see FA Cup finalists, Liverpool still in for the quadruple. And we don't want to get any footage on here right now. Let's not get any footage on here. But, Klopp with his punch towards the cup and everything. This is a really nice picture, though. I do have this on a thumbnail coming up with my boy Kyle in the trophy talk. Thiago has been in good form recently as well. So just give it up to Liverpool, man. Give it up to them, man. When the going gets tough, they still manage to find a way to win. And that's the hallmark of a very great team. City, the same. Liverpool, the same. I don't know if I could say the same about the other teams below us. I really don't. I can't. And you know what? I thought about something, man. Liverpool and Manchester City just wants to win everything. Everything. You see what I mean? Everything this season. That's what it is. Are Liverpool going to win everything? Could City, win 2 trophies? Could Liverpool end up with 2? Could City end up with 2? Let us see what happens, man. Let us see what happens. But, this was indeed not the best game. But still, I don't think the Liverpool fans would care. They still went out there and they got the job done. You know what I mean? And credit goes to Jurgen Klopp as well, man. Indeed, credit goes to Jurgen Klopp. So, guys, I'm your boy Dom. It's been a long one, an hour 44 minutes. Big up to everybody in here, man. I don't plan on being super long tonight. But look, in terms of Liverpool, they do have the Champions League semi-final first leg against Villarreal. I do fancy Liverpool in this tie, but I don't think they should take Villarreal lightly. And then they have Newcastle on the road. That's going to be a very tricky game where Liverpool did not beat Newcastle last season. I know City did not beat Leeds last season either, but both teams have picked up wins against the teams that they're going to play against next in the Premier League. So the title race might just continue, 1 point separating the teams. Liverpool do have Tottenham, Aston Villa, the FA Cup semi-final, Southampton, and Wolves remaining this season. So every game is a final. And that's why I love it, man. That's why I love that we have a title race. Both teams, Liverpool and City, in the Champions League. For Liverpool, they're still in the FA Cup. And it's going to be a great finish to the season if you're a Liverpool fan. Or it just might be, just might be heartbreaking. It could be heartbreaking for a City fan as well. So it's well poised, man. It is well poised. Guys, there's a lot of things that I could actually get into. I saved a lot of things, but I'm actually going to talk about those things tomorrow during the watch along. If all goes to plan and I do get to do the watch along, I'll have a lot of things to share with you guys during the watch along tomorrow, though. A lot of tidbits and things like that from the championship, from the other leagues, and gonna have some fun though. But look, it's been fun. Match week 34, the roundup, the preview is coming up later on this week. There's a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work. So guys, whoever is supporting the channel, continue supporting the thing. Liking the video, all the members, everybody who super chat over the season. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. And it would be nothing without you, man. I know I have to show up, but if you guys don't show up, what's it gonna be? You know what I mean? What is it gonna be, man? So big up to the boy AD in the house, 80 Booth, Big John in the house, some at the Longhouse, King Huddle, everybody who came through and supported the blood thing. Guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. I'll talk to you soon. I have a lot of content coming out. Trophy talk with my boy Kyle. Look for that coming up pretty soon. There's a clip out in the Champions League as well. And, it's just, we're just coming back with another one, man. Fire for your head tops, baby. So, from your boy Dom, like the video if you like it. All the people watching the replay, big up to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And from your boy Dom, until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.